Hey guys, so I'm gonna peep you some wisdom about some relationship astrology type stuff today. But before I start talking about relationship astrology, any of that, do you know who you are? Do you know? Is there any way you can find out? Because to be honest, when I was doing this video, I was thinking to myself, do I know who I am? I'm gonna explain to you guys who I am so you understand better of this whole thing I'm doing. Okay. So, the reason why I want to talk about relationships, the reason why I want to talk about the perfect relationship is, for one, there is no perfect relationship. Okay? Everything is perfect in its own light. Everything is perfect in its own light, guys. I love relationships a lot. Okay? Mercury, Venus, and Libra. I really love relationships, and I love seeing relationships manifest. It turns me up. It makes me really excited. And it's embarrassing how happy I get thinking about how when you see two people come together and they start creating this energy and the energy just starts to manifest things around them, that makes me happy. It makes me really happy. Eccentric. And so that's why I'm talking about it. Hello. Thank you guys for blessing me with an opportunity to talk about astrology and to help everyone to understand the mystery of compatibility and astrology. I feel like it's deadly important. I love you guys, man. This is amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys 3 takeaways on what happens when you find the perfect friend associated with astrology or associated with anything. And we'll get into that. But first, one question though. What did the 0 say to the infinity symbol? It said, nice belt. Today, we're talking about what happens when you find that perfect friend. Or maybe perhaps you found that perfect friend and lost them. Whatever. It's always good to know what happened, why it happened, how you can be stronger because of it, how you can grow because of it. Because everything happens in life because of you. And you get to experience everything in life and then become a better person. Every time something happens that's intense, you become better. You level up. That's life for you. If your friend isn't like you, if they're like your friend and your partner and stuff, but they're not like you, it's important to know why. So, when you look at a person whose birth chart isn't like yours, you can show gratitude because every time you're around someone who doesn't really identify with you completely, you're getting all of the energy that is going to level you up later. It may not feel good now, but later, it's going to be like, oh shit, I already know what to say. Oh, I don't know. Everything's just going to seem like a breeze. For example, it's like having weights on your back. You're carrying them around, and after you take them off, what happens? Dude, you're so much lighter, and it's empowering for you. That's awesome, because that's what we need in life. I personally need in life, to become a better person, to be more inspiring, to be more uplifting, to be more uplifted, to express better. I need to be better. So that's mine personally, because my wife, we're not super compatible, but I love oh my gosh, I love the crap out of my wife. I really do. And the reason why we're together is because she's amazing and she's determined, and I love that about her. And I want to embody a determination like that. Though I don't expect to have determination like she does. I'll never have that, but I will have my own version of it. And it will be mine. Because no one like me has been around someone like that I know of. That makes me happy and excited. And it makes me feel more energy. It is scary though, thinking about how fleeting life is. Life being fleeting makes it even more important for me to to level up and get better. A cool example would be, we could talk about rocket. We could talk about something more logical, like say the DNA strand. It twists and it's tight and it bursts out of itself and then it loosens. And then it twists and it's tight, it bursts out of itself and it loosens. And so having someone around you that isn't just like you is going to tighten you and it's going to make you more empowered to express outwards. But if you're in the stage where you're expressing outwards, you might consider chilling with someone that is more like you so that you can express outwards more wide. If that makes sense. To me, it makes sense. If you're talking to someone who's more similar to you, check out. If you're talking to someone who's more similar to you, though, seriously, guys, then that person is going to make you 1,000 times more empowered as you're speaking. For example, if I said something to, I don't know, one of my friends, okay, they would resonate with me. And that resonation, it helps me to feel resignation and to let go of what I said. And that's cool. And to move to the next subject. If you haven't met anyone that's really super similar to you, birth chart wise, trust me, when you get to that point, you're going to notice that. You'll speak to that person, and then you talking to that person is going to make you feel more empowered. Kind of like the video that I watched, that I made with Steve Jobs and Bill Gates together speaking. Dude, Bill doesn't want to do shit that Jobs does. He doesn't give a damn. But all he wants is his reputation. So Jobs has all these people that are super interested in the things that he does. But Bill is just super creative. And he should have people interested in the things that he does. But I like to joke around about how fast food stores, or how Jack in the Box, for example, their food's not great. But their advertising kicks ass. And that's what gets you out there. That's what gets you set up for life. Having that attitude where you can be like, look at this. And then everyone looks at it versus your partner. That's a big deal. If you can get everyone to look at one thing, that's the thing that determines whether or not you're going to succeed. It's not if your food tastes 1,000 times better than anything you've ever had in your life. That's not going to make you nothing. Next point. Okay, my second point is you don't judge. Okay, because look at it this way. For example, me being a Scorpio. No, let's go with a different one. Okay, whatever. I can't help myself. I'm always talking about Scorpio energy. It's me. It's my sun. So, me being a Scorpio, I do things really intense. I expand things outwards. You know what? It's okay that things get scary. But the thing is, though, is Gemini and Scorpio have it the worst. But besides that point, what if someone pointed out your flaw, whatever your sign is? Because every sign has a flaw, and it doesn't take much to find it. If someone points out your flaw, it hurts, does it not? That's why you don't point out people's flaws. When I was first into my relationship with my wife, we would point out each other's flaws 24/7. And you know what? There's never any time in our relationship that we really talked. Until just a few years ago. A couple years ago. Because we're so busy trying to pick each other apart. And that's a big thing. That's a big thing, dude. Like, if you give someone a label, for example, every time you see that person, you're just going to see that label. And the more you see the label, the more creeped out you get by that person. And that's not healthy. Because you have labels too. So the point I'm trying to get to is when you're in a relationship with anyone, period, really, Whether it be them half compatible, sort of compatible, whatever. Who gives a shit about compatibility? If you're with someone and they're your partner, you respect them and you don't point out their flaws, you try to lift them up. Be way better to lift someone's flaws up than it is to push them in their face. If you lift someone's flaws up, you could be like, hey, look, you do this, and you're slowly not doing this, and it's really cool, and I'm so grateful for you. That's lifting someone's flaws up. We all know what putting them down looks like. We're not going to go there. But yeah, lift the flaws up, and so that they can be in perspective, so that things can eventually change. And they will. As long as you stay at it. My wife and I have been together for 9 or 10 years, right? And we've gone through stages where I wouldn't even talk to her for a whole day. I would just be gone. Truck driving. I got a truck driving job because I specifically did not want to be around my wife, because I know I've always said, you're not right for me, right? I've always said that. So I've been afraid of her. But now that I've stepped into myself and been able to communicate understanding, love, friendship, we're actually having conversations. We're on the same page with each other, and there's no real fear anymore. So there's a big difference. You gotta know how to accept someone for who they are. Deadly important. Deadly, deadly important. Especially if you're in a relationship. If you're with a friend and you're judging them, they're not gonna be your friend for long, okay? Or say something about your friend and then take off. And then you come back to that friend, they're still gonna be thinking about what you said. It's inevitable. So keep your words soft. Be loving. Especially if you're fire air sign, because you're rude. Last but not least, thirdly, do your best not to poke fun at people. I know I said this earlier when I said don't judge. But yeah, don't poke fun. If, for example, you're talking about astrology, think of it as something sacred. Think of it as something sacred, because if you can think of it as something that deserves reverence, then when you speak to people about it, you're not going to make others uncomfortable. That's very important, to have reverence when you're speaking about something that is spiritual, okay? Very important. If you can do it with reverence, then you can actually learn about yourself. My most favorite thing about my relationship so far has been when I started talking to my wife about my personality and her birth chart. Because for the longest time, I had been, like I said, really judgmental about her chart. Okay? So I've been there, guys. But what I recently learned, though, is I can look at my chart and then look at her chart and be like, okay, so for example, my Mercury is in Libra, your Mercury is in Taurus. Meaning, I get really excited, and I get really judgmental and excited at the same time, and it just goes fast like that. Fast. I'll jump into anything all the time. I love it. It makes me happy. It makes me excited, especially in the summertime. I like to jump into stuff. I love to just excite myself and be excited and be exciting. It's the best. It really is the best. But Mercury Taurus doesn't really think that jumping into stuff and being excited is the best. And I have had so many times in my life where I'm like, you don't think it's the best because you're lame. What? Because you're a Taurus and you're lame? Dude, that's so cold. Bro, you can't say that about someone. Because it's not true. It's really not true, guys. It really isn't. Everyone has their own superpower. Taurus's superpower is they can keep moving forward no matter what they're going through in their life. Libra's superpower is they can break things down and they can get people to understand each other so that everyone can be together in life. They're not similar, but they are both really awesome. both awesome in their own special way. Every sign is awesome in its own special way, man. And as soon as you can get that, as soon as you get that reverence, that's when everything starts to explode. Everything will explode outwards after that. If anyone has any questions about anything relationship-wise, let me know, because I love talking about relationships. Almost as much as I love talking about astrology with you guys. Thank you.